Morning, everyone. I am not going to go too deep into this today, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the economics of Canada's immigration policy and why Canada is absolutely terrified that Alberta is actually going to leave the Canada Pension Plan. And believe it or not, the two are not disrelated. They are very much interconnected because Canada has always had a little bit of an issue with growth. We're a very large country, and we're not keeping up with respect to the numbers of births. If you look at our demographics, because it is very much a demographics issue, and it's not one that's just isolated to Canada, it's one that most of the world is actually experiencing. There's very few places that are having enough growth in the G7 in particular, as our birth rates have declined. And what's happened is our aging population, we have this inverted growth. We have what should be very broad on the bottom and very narrow on the top has gone the other way around. We have a very small birth rate on the bottom, but we have this huge layer of baby boomers, broad band at the top. So if you think about a triangle, turn that triangle upside down, and that's actually what you're going to see and what you're going to get with Canada's demographics. That's a very, very, very bad place economically for a country to be. And thus, that is where a lot of the rightful feelings around Alberta's withdrawal from the Canada Pension Plan actually resides. Because if you know anything about Canada's pension plan, and Stephen Harper even said this in his own interview, my goodness, a decade ago, it is a Ponzi scheme. It is whatever money comes in basically is flowing back out. And if Alberta, which is, now think about the demographics, not the baby boom province, it is actually the youngest, most productive, highest income earners that we have in this country that we call Canada. Withdrawals from the Canada Pension Plan, yeah, they have good reason to be very concerned. But Alberta, I got to tell you, this would probably be the single most important thing that you can do as far as self-preservation of your province and our province, of which I am very proud to be a part of. Because think about it, stock market, baby boomers, once they stop contributing, what happens? They're spending, they're using up the resources, but they're no longer contributing, much like government. Odd, isn't it? So when your revenue coming in is not enough to keep up with the expenses going out, what happens? You end up with a deficiency, right? Deficits. And that's exactly what's happening economically on a much larger scale with Canada's pension plan. We have resources going out faster than we have the ability to bring things in. And here's where Canada's immigration comes in. They know, and it is a strategy, one that I think needs to be revised. And if you know anything about the People's Party of Canada in 2018, we brought up the fact that immigration was an issue then. Only now, 5 years later, are people going, oh my goodness, the number of people we're bringing into this country is this concerning? Yes, it's concerning, but I don't want to get into the whole racial economics of it, of who is coming into the country, because it is about who is coming into the country, but not for the reasons you think. I don't care whether you're from Pakistan or whether you're from Afghanistan or whether you're from the United States or whatever. That's irrelevant. What does matter from an economic standpoint, the who is about what are you contributing to the country. Because if you're coming here as an older citizen, you have far less time to actually contribute to the country programs that you are going to be a benefactor of. That's one issue. The other one is low-income earners. If you're coming in here and you're going to be a low-income earner, well then again, how much you're contributing to the very infrastructure and to the very resources that you're going to be drawing on is going to be very minimal. So the who is actually more important than the what. Canada has always known that until Justin Trudeau. In all his brilliance, he thinks this is a number game. And in all honesty, so does Pierre Poilievre. He thinks that we can just bring all these people into Canada and it's going to fix all their problems. No, it is not. It is actually going to create more problems. And I'm going to use housing as a perfect example of that. You know, bring more immigrants in to build more houses. Well, the problem is we don't have enough houses for the people who are already here. So how is bringing more people in going to fix that problem? Why? Because you can't build enough houses fast enough to house the people that are here and still add to that. You know, if you're in a hole, for God's sake, stop digging the hole. Fix the hole first and then reevaluate other solutions. So immigration is not a bad thing in and of itself, but you need to recognize who is coming into your country and the why they're coming into the country. And if the why is to boost your GDP, gross domestic product, well then you need to have the right kind of people coming in. That, I'm going to leave it right there for today, and I got a funny feeling we'll be revisiting this issue in the future. Have a lovely day, everyone.